Welcome to our strategic analysis of Sri Lanka's telecommunication sector. In this presentation, we compare Dialog Axiata and SLT-Mobitel using core strategic frameworks. We'll begin with a brief overview of both companies, then move into external and internal analyses. We'll summarize our findings with a SWOT and conclude with strategic recommendations. Dialog Axiata is the market leader, with over 17.2 million mobile subscribers and a 2023 revenue of 187.8 billion Sri Lanka rupees. It's known for first-to-market innovations like 5G standalone and VONR. SLT-Mobitel, the national backbone operator, is state-owned and holds 25% market share. Though smaller, it has the largest fiber optic network in Sri Lanka and is recovering well financially. Combined, they dominate 91% of Sri Lanka's telecom market. This table highlights key differences. Dialog is privately owned under Axiata, while SLT is government-owned. Dialog leads in digital ecosystems and customer sentiment, while SLT focuses more on infrastructure and enterprise services. In 2023, Dialog earned nearly 76 billion Sri Lanka rupees more in revenue than SLT, and had over 8 million more subscribers, a significant lead. As shown here, Sri Lanka's internet penetration has grown steadily since 2019, while overall telecom industry revenue has declined since 2014, highlighting both digital opportunity and structural challenges. According to the PESTEL analysis of the Sri Lankan telecom sector, government policies support tower expansion and rural access, but rising telecom taxes and online speech restrictions create challenges. Economically, telecom is targeted to grow to $3 billion by 2024, despite national instability. Socially, the post-pandemic tech shift boosted digital literacy, but gaps still exist in rural regions. Technologically, both firms are advancing rapidly, with Dialog's VBSC and SLT's VMware cloud zones. Environmental concerns focus on rising e-waste, with both firms adopting solar-powered sites. Legally, stricter TRCSL licensing and higher VAT create compliance pressures. Here's the Porter's 5 forces model. We'll now break down how each of these forces impacts Dialog and SLT. The threat of new entrants is low due to high capital requirements and regulation. Supplier power is moderate. Telecom vendors like Ericsson and Huawei hold key technology assets, but larger firms like Dialog have leverage due to scale. Moreover, buyer power is high. With over 17 million subscribers, consumers have multiple choices and are price sensitive. Odd apps like WhatsApp and Zoom are substitutes, reducing SMS and voice revenue, but increasing data demand. Finally, competitive rivalry is intense. Dialog and SLT are locked in a price war, with Hutch and Airtel as rising challengers. The Sri Lankan telecom market is saturated, regulated, and volatile, creating both risk and opportunity for strategic innovation. This strategic group map positions Sri Lanka's telecom providers based on 2 quantifiable dimensions: digital innovation and market coverage. Dialog Axiata occupies the upper right quadrant, reflecting both high coverage, over 17.2 million subscribers, and rapid innovation leadership, being the first to trial 5G SAW and VONR. SLT-Mobitel, while demonstrating high infrastructure coverage through a 65,000 km fiber network, ranks slightly lower in digital agility. Hutch and Airtel remain niche players, lacking scale and advanced innovation pipelines. Benchmarking across 5 key success factors reveals that Dialog scores highest across all metrics. For example, financial stability is evidenced by Dialog's 12.4 billion Sri Lanka rupees net profit in FY 2024 versus SLT-Mobitel's 3.1 billion Sri Lanka rupees. Dialog's 5G and 4G networks cover over 92% of populated areas, compared to SLT's 81%. Technology adoption, measured by launch-to-market cycles, favors Dialog with 5+ launches annually versus SLT's 2 to 3. In customer loyalty and brand equity, Dialog leads with an estimated 54 billion Sri Lanka rupees brand value, exceeding SLT's 38 Sri Lanka rupees minus 42 billion range. We now transition to internal analysis of both firms, focusing on capability alignment and institutional structure. First, the McKinsey 7S framework is employed to assess internal strategic alignment across structure, systems, style, and core competencies as a basis for comparative organizational diagnostics. This table compares the hard elements of the 7S framework. Dialog invests heavily in digital infrastructure, with 80% AI-driven operations and a modular matrix structure. SLT-Mobitel, meanwhile, focuses on fiber expansion but still relies on manual procurement and a semi-decentralized, government-aligned setup. In terms of soft elements, Dialog promotes a culture of innovation with participative leadership and over 293,000 hours of AI training. SLT-Mobitel aligns with national values but follows a top-down style, with limited digital skill exposure despite having a larger workforce. As indicated by the VRIO analysis, Dialog holds sustained competitive advantages in advanced infrastructure, brand equity, and AI-driven churn management. For instance, machine learning applications reduced churn by 4.3% over 3 months. While its diverse product mix, including fintech, entertainment, and broadband, is valuable, it lacks rarity and is thus a temporary advantage. Meanwhile, SLT-Mobitel achieves sustained advantages in network reach and technical capability. It leads in fiber deployment and reports peak 5G SAW speeds of 5 gigabits per second in pilot zones. Its AI-driven churn analysis tool improved customer retention rates by 2.1% quarter-over-quarter. However, like Dialog, its broad product portfolio is replicable and fails to meet the rarity criterion. This table presents a strategic comparison of Dialog Axiata and SLT-Mobitel's core resources and competencies. Dialog demonstrates superior positioning in nearly every category, with very high scores in network infrastructure, a brand value of 54 billion rupees, and over 50% market share. It outpaces SLT in innovation, recording 70% AI/ML integration and launching 5 or more services annually. SLT lags slightly with 60% AI integration and only 2 to 3 launches per year. While both firms maintain high fiber coverage and strong partnerships with Google, Huawei, and Ericsson, Dialog's advanced digital platforms and MO agreements give it a decisive advantage in service diversification and self-service adoption. Financially, Dialog leads with over 140 billion rupees in annual revenue and strong profitability metrics, reinforcing its strategic lead in digital transformation and market retention. Dialog Axiata's value chain reflects high digital maturity across all primary and support functions. It operates a centralized MNC structure under Axiata with regional decision agility. HR emphasizes internal mobility and performance-linked upskilling, contributing to 293,000 plus hours of tech training. AI automation covers 80% of operations, supported by cloud-based logistics and real-time procurement dashboards. Services are fully digital, with over 90% customer issue resolution via AI. This systemic integration supports Dialog's 54 billion rupees brand valuation and 12.4 billion Sri Lanka rupees net profit. SLT-Mobitel's semi-decentralized structure aligns with government compliance but restricts execution speed. HR development is driven by Akaza LMS and traditional training modules. While SLT leads in fiber network coverage and operates Sri Lanka's largest backbone, its technology development is moderate, with slower AI deployment. Procurement remains tender-based, delaying vendor flexibility. Outbound logistics rely on hybrid models, and digital service engagement stands at only 60%, reflecting continued dependence on call centers. Despite this, SLT maintains strong public sector relationships and the fastest 4G speeds, positioning it well for regional distribution. In summary, Dialog's internal strengths include 5G leadership, a 54 billion rupees brand value, and fully digital onboarding. AI-led automation enables churn reduction of 4.3% in Q1 2023. Weaknesses include dependence on foreign vendors and moderate profit-to-revenue scale. Key threats involve auth disruption and VAT hikes. However, strategic opportunities lie in fintech expansion, regional scaling, and smart service bundling through AWS and Google alliances. SLT's key strengths include the largest fiber infrastructure, government procurement benefits, and strong regional logistics. However, it faces execution delays, manual procurement, and lower brand engagement. Churn improvements stand at 2.1%, lagging Dialog. Its opportunity lies in smart home bundling and public-private partnerships for rural digitization. However, threats include Dialog's ecosystem dominance and pricing pressure in a buyer-sensitive market. This strategic competitor matrix provides a concise summary of our detailed comparison across execution, capability, and financial performance between Dialog Axiata and SLT-Mobitel. To sustain its lead, Dialog must strengthen cost efficiency by localizing R&D and AI-led procurement, improving its operating margin. It should expand regional 5G rollout targeting underserved zones through PPPs. Further, extending its internal AI architecture to customer channels like WhatsApp or Messenger will increase retention. Strategic co-branding with fintech and IoT partners can solidify leadership in digital ecosystems. Furthermore, it is advised that SLT should accelerate digital innovation by transitioning to full AI automation and scaling smart pay and SLT Geo platforms. Internal structures must be modernized via enterprise LMS systems and cloud integration. In rural markets, it should execute speed-focused outreach and enhance fiber reliability. This comparative analysis between Dialog Axiata and SLT-Mobitel has demonstrated key strategic differences in execution, digital capability, and market positioning. Thank you for your time and attention.